Thank you, President Case. Company board members, tonight we present for approval to approve a one-year lease with the Earth and Space Expedition Center for part of the facility usage at the Foothills campus during the next school year. Dr. Jarris.
The Earth and Space Expedition Center was formerly known as the Challenger Space Center, and they currently rent 18 classrooms, the media center, and the cafeteria on the Foothills campus. In the past year, the Earth and Space Expedition Center developed a new board, which has helped them create a new brand with additional programming. They were asking for a 2-year lease, but we are offering a 1-year lease to see how well their new programming is received by our schools. We are available to answer any questions you may have, and we recommend approval.
There is a comment.
So regarding this particular topic, I find it very, very disconcerting. I'm usually here talking about financial issues, and this is a financial issue. We are leasing this building for $1. $1. And as justification for this $1, you guys have provided in the agenda, page, it says 7 of 7, but I don't know that it actually is, an in-kind service in lieu of rent calculation, which uses 32,316 free student passes at $7 a piece. While meanwhile, our budget says we'll only have 26,000 students. Why are we padding this by 21.8%? Let's go on to the fact that we are not using, my children have been in the district for many years. They do not go to this on an annual basis. This is not something that's happening. This whole calculation coming up to $238,000 worth of in-kind is fluff. It's meaningless. And even with this huge padding of this in-kind services, it still only comes out to $7.7 per year in rent, which is way below market rent, way below. This is insulting to your constituents and the taxpayers and the people who you're asking to pass a bond on. Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 535?
Sorry.
Yes, Mrs. Baker.
Can maybe Dr. Jarris clarify some of the things there, because I believe it adds more value to our district than the speaker led on. And so I would like if Dr. Jarris could clarify some of that.
Sure. And this final page here is part of the original draft from the original lease 4 years ago. So obviously the student count number is different than it would have been when this was originally drafted 4 years ago. So this addendum, the in-kind services certainly can be updated to regard the change the student count.
Mrs. Christensen?
How many classes utilize this per year? Do we have any metrics on that?
I do, and that's been the rocky journey, to be honest with you. 2019-20 was their first year in operation. They were given access to the building and end of the summer there, and so they spent the first semester setting up their mission statements and mission setting. And then as we were getting classes signed up, we had a few participating, and then COVID happened. So for the rest of that school year, from March on, they were not open. The following school year in 2020-21, we were virtual for half the year, and the other half of the year we were not doing field trips. 2021-2022, we started the year with mask mandates on buses, and we had so many teachers out that a lot of schools did not do field trips. And at the end of that year, we met with them and understood that they were going over a different new leadership change. And so we met with them this fall. This fall would have been that follow-up. They have a new board. They've proposed new programming for us. And that is when they asked for a 2-year lease to extend, and we said we really need to see, where our schools are involved with it. This spring we only had about 6 schools participate in a variety of ways. We have next year about 15 that are interested in exploring more, but we also have a mechanism in place to get feedback from the schools to determine whether or not they plan to continue to return and provide some qualitative feedback for the center as well.
Okay, so just for clarification, so the in-kind estimate of $238,580, we've missed the mark on that.
We've missed the mark. And
point of information for Mrs. Berrigan, can you provide clarification on what we can use the income for when we do get rent from, like, such as this? I know it's only $1, but what bucket does that go into in terms of finance? And can we use that for other things?
It goes into what's called the Civic Center Fund, Fund 515, and it can be used for general M&O purposes.
Mrs. Greenberg?
I guess two questions, or I don't know, not question. If I still want to call it Challenger, wasn't there, what would we be doing with that space potentially? I mean, do we have another option that we would be using that space for?
Yeah, not at this time. We would use our process for much as we would this fall in creating a committee to look at facilities usage. But we have some ideas, but they're just ideas, big picture ideas.
If, for example, this lease were not to be approved, how long would it take them to move out?
We have a 60-day notice, I believe, in the lease. Is that right, Dr. Jarris?
That's correct.
I'm not saying that because it's my intent to vote no. I don't intend to vote no, but I agree that this was the partnership. I think when it was first proposed, we had big plans, and I think COVID has stuck a pin in those quite extensively. And I think as Mrs. Case said, I appreciate that we're looking at a 1-year rather than 2-year lease, because this is, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I think this is the first year we'll really be able to tell that. So, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion passes 4 ayes and 1 nay.